Okay, what's up guys, welcome back to another video on the tech channel. In this episode I've done something I've not really ever done before. So I've gone onto Amazon and I came up with the idea to find the cheapest, well not the cheapest, but the best smartphone, brand new, for under £100. Now, I wasn't just going off of what's the best specs I can get for my money. I was more looking at within that £100 price range, what is the best value for money you're getting. So say there was a phone that was slightly better specs than like a 80 quid phone, yeah? Like say the 80 quid phone is really good, and then you've got an 100 quid phone that's just moderately better. I'm not going to get the £100 phone because the price to performance is going to be worse than the 80 quid phone. So I'm kind of trying to find the best bang for your buck sort of phone. So I bought the new phone, which I've never bought a new phone for this channel before. So it's trying something new. So we're just going to unbox it. This is the Redmi A5 that I went for. 6 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. 4 gig of RAM and 128 gig of storage. Because they do come with a 6 gig, but that was out of the price range, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna open it with these cutters because I don't have really anything else to cut that with. Okay. That's one way to shred the box. I found my pair of scissors. Oh, there we go. Now, unfortunately, I ripped the box, but it doesn't really matter that much. So, I'm pretty sure it opens like this. Yeah, let's go. Okay, it's got this Redmi thing here. Okay, so then we get the phone right here. I'm gonna take it out and leave it to the side very quickly. And take out. So we've got the SIM ejector tool, which will potentially be useful. I don't think I'm gonna end up putting my SIM in it, but might end up doing that. Not too sure. Got a USB-C to USB-A charger. It's good. Got some manuals and stuff. An energy rating, and then that's the rest of the box that I just flung over there. But let's just get all of the paper stuff out of the way for now. We'll move on to taking a look at the phone. And so Redmi A5 in the green. Doesn't look too bad. Obviously I haven't taken the film off yet, so let's do that now. Okay. To be fair, that is not a bad pill for a plastic sort of thing. I'll say that as I rip it. Let's just get that back bit off. Put that in the bin. So there we have the device. Quite a cool effect on the back, quite a nice colour too. There was a few options such as like the black and stuff, but I went for the green just because green's my personal favourite out of the lot. And I also wanted to show what sort of colour you can get on these things, instead of just going for the basic black. So I think what I'm going to do is turn it on. It's quite light, which is good. Let's switch on the device. Hopefully it has some charge, if not I'll put it on. Okay, so here we have the first bit of the setup process. The only thing I did notice is quite a big bezel here, but I'm not too fussed about that. It's obviously, it's like, this phone was £83, which is not too bad. We'll get into the specs in a minute. I'm just going to go through this, set it up, and I'll see you guys on the home screen where we'll start talking about some of the specs and features that this device has. Okay, so here we are inside the on like the display of the device. I'm just going to turn the brightness up to max for now. But this thing, it looks pretty cool, both back and with the matching sort of front. Does look really, really nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start installing some apps to test on some games and stuff. And I'm also going to run you through the specs and key features of this device. So let's get into that now. So the display of this phone is a 6.88 inch HD display. It is an LCD, not an OLED, but it's expected for the price point, with an 120Hz refresh rate, which is quite good. It has an octa-core processor, so 8 cores. This particular one has 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. But you can get a variant with 3GB and 64GB of storage, 4GB and 64GB of storage, and 6GB and 128GB. It also has expandable storage through a micro SD card, which can carry about, I think, up to about 1 TB of additional storage. It also has the rear camera is a 32 megapixel main camera, and the front camera is an 8 megapixel selfie camera. The battery is 5200 milliamp hours, which charges with a 15 watt USB Type C. It also has a fingerprint scanner on the side and face unlock like Face ID that you see on iPhones. It also comes with colours of midnight black, lake green, ocean blue and sandy gold. I know, guys, I absolutely butchered reading from that script, but it's not something I do often, so if you guys do enjoy, please do leave a like below, because it's hard to make these videos, but I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so now that we've talked about the spec and the features of the device, now I want to go over a bit of the operating system. Now, I haven't used a newer Android phone in quite a while, so this is not new to me, but it's different. I've never used a Redmi or a Xiaomi device before. So first, I just want to take a look at the settings. So it's very similar to the sort of the look and feel of a Samsung. Obviously, it's the same base operating system, just with a slightly different style to it. So you've got all these different settings. I'm just going to go to the About section. So it's supposed to be dual SIM, because I couldn't remember if it was or not. Yeah, just might want to blur that. But yeah, so the OS is quite similar to a Samsung. I mean, most of the icons are the same. Obviously, some are select for the brand that this comes from, but for the most part, they are all the same. I'll go over the speaker as well. It does only have one singular speaker, like up here, but the sound quality out of that is not too bad at all, especially for the price point. It's not too bad. So I'm just going to let those games that I'm going to install, and we'll go test some performance on this thing for gaming. I've gone over everything, like just for usual, just like swiping through, searching, stuff like that. It's pretty good for that. I've not experienced any hiccups at all, which I was hoping that I wouldn't. So that's good. I can go in here. You know, I can't do a chat because I don't have any numbers saved on here. Yeah, alright, let's just go test it on some games. Okay, so for the first part of the benchmarking, we are going to use 3D Mark, which is a very widely used app for testing devices, and we're just going to run the Wildlife Extreme test. It's a 1 minute test that basically just shows the performance and how well the phone can distribute performance across the device for short periods of time. There is a longer one, but it takes about 20 minutes, so I'm not going to get into that one today. But it should, at the end, give us a score, and it should show a screen where it enables us to compare it with other devices, like anything that's previously been tested on this app before. So I'm just going to run these tests now. Now, I'm not expecting anything great out of this, considering that this is a £83 phone. Most devices won't be able to run it very well either, but we'll just wait till the end to get the score of what the device achieved, and we can compare it to some other devices that have previously been tested. It'd be cool to see how it compares to older flagship models from back in the day, and see kind of where in terms of flagship the performance of this device is at. As you can see, the whole point of this is it's a very hard to run test. My iPhone 17 Pro Max runs it quite well, but obviously that's I think £1,600 phone at least, so you know, it should be sort of expected. Okay, so our overall score is 158. So this is the score versus the S24. These are popular devices. It's better than 2% of the devices from all results from all other devices. But I would like to compare this to other devices. So what I might do is run a more simpler version of this test to kind of see what we can kind of achieve with this. Let's show you something. Might give this one a try as well. Let's see how this goes. By the way, guys, this isn't video playback, this is real-time rendering on the device, which is why it is laggy, because obviously it's trying to render in all these 3D models and sort of movements on the actual phone itself, which is the whole reason why this test is a test, because if it was just video playback, then it wouldn't be very comparable with other things. Just let the test run. Hopefully it won't take too long, but I'll come back to you guys at the end of the test to see what we achieved. Okay, so it's done the first one, but it didn't give me a score, but it's testing another one now. So we'll see how long this one takes. Hopefully it won't take too long to render. Hopefully we'll get a better score compared to other devices than on the other test, as I think the other test is more GPU based, and I'm pretty sure this phone just has sort of CPU graphics rather than a built-in GPU as well, so it might not be able to handle it as well as a CPU specific test. Hopefully this should be the last one, I'm pretty sure, but I'll just wait till the final results come in and we can take a look. Okay, so here we have our benchmark score. You can see all of that there. I'm not going to read it out, but you can read it off of there if you'd like to. Just pause the video to compare. So this is compared to Pixel 8 Pro, Xiaomi 14. These are more flagship devices. 44% better than the results from all other devices, which is good, because that gives us a better sort of... nearly took out my camera. That gives us a better sort of perspective on where this device sits when compared to other models. Now, the good thing is, I think with this test is it's more CPU based, and I don't believe this has a GPU, especially for the price. I wouldn't expect it to, which explains why we're getting so much of a better percentage when compared to other devices on this test than the previous test. But this is pretty good to see. And there we go. So that is our results. Not too bad at all. Score 1,868. So now I'm going to test it in some actual games. I'm just going to play through a couple games for a little bit and kind of see how it performs. I probably won't be able to give you an FPS count, but I'll just give it an overall playability rating and satisfaction rating. And then at the end of this video, once we've tested the camera, I'll give it an overall rating of my opinions on the device, talk a bit through my experience with it, and also kind of compare it to the price of the performance to see if it's worth buying for someone looking into a cheap modern phone. So let's get into those games now. Okay, so we are in our first game. This is PUBG Mobile. Haven't played it in ages. I played it like a few times when I was on my old Android phone. That's about it really. So I'll just log back in and I'm just going to play a game of this. Now hopefully it won't take too long. I don't know shit about the I don't know anything about the game pretty much because I haven't played it in so long. I was never really too much into it at that point anyway, but hopefully we'll survive long enough in the game to actually be able to test it, because if not I'll have to play another game. But I've also got 2 other games to test after this. So I've got a very popular but also pretty basic game called Terraria that I want to try out on this device. Now it will run pretty well, but I also just want to see how different types of games will perform, if you know what I mean. Like, we've got a higher resolution 3D game, online game. And then we've also got a 3D car game called FR Legends. It's not too high demanding on graphics, but it's just a game that I used to play a lot, so I want to test that. And then we'll also test Terraria, which is a 2D game. But we should be able to crank up Terraria to its maximum settings, and hopefully it will run pretty well. So let's just play a little bit of this game. Now I'm trying to find a comfortable position to play the game in, which I'm going to say this is more it. Ignore all the mess under my desk. Right, so overall the graphics, they're alright. They're on the lower side because I changed them just because I knew it wasn't going to, it's not going to perform on the highest settings, considering that the device is £83. But nevertheless, it should still be of playable quality. Now the map, you can see, looks very, very bad as we're dropping down, but that's because we're quite far away and it's got a lot to render in, so the texture's going to be lower. But I reckon as soon as we land and we're closer to those meshes, that the quality is going to improve quite a bit. As you can see, all those trees are coming in. This is a bit where we'll probably be taking a big hit in our performance, just because there's a lot that the game's got to render in, and all that from the map. But hopefully the graphics won't be too bad. Overall, so far the frame rate's not too bad either. I can't see my FPS, but it's definitely playable at this point. Very happy with how it's running at the moment. Right, I'm not really going to commentate on this game because I'm not really playing it to play the game sort of thing. I'm playing it to test the device. So let's just kind of play through this a little bit, and hopefully my Uber Eats doesn't come mid filming, because otherwise I will have to pause it to get my food, and then we might have to continue the benchmarking after that, which would be quite annoying. So 11:10, probably got about 10 minutes before this thing comes, which is hopefully long enough, but I doubt it will be, because these games can get quite long. But I'm happy for if we'd say we're 10 minutes in and I've gone through everything, then I'm happy to just leave mid-game and move on to the next segment, because as you can see, the graphics aren't too great on here, but this is £83 worth of phone here, and it's handling this game quite well. I'd say this is probably about maybe 40 FPS, if not a little higher. Might check, see if you can turn on FPS on here, then we can see what we're getting. but don't know if it will. Can't see anything. I mean, it might be right in front of my face, but let's see, anywhere. I don't think there is anything that I can see. So I'll just kind of give you my opinion on it, because I can't measure the actual performance. But yeah, this is very, very, very playable. Could even try some higher graphics settings, but some of those require you to restart the game, which I can't really do. But yeah, I'm happy to finish this test when that food comes. But yeah, this is very, very good, and I'm very happy with its performance. Apologies to the interruption to the benchmarking. The food did come, but I'm luckily still alive in the game. What I was saying was, performance on this device is pretty good, especially for this game, which is pretty decently hard to run game. It's not too bad. I'm getting shot at. I'm very bad at this game. But yeah, even when shooting and stuff, the performance is still good. There we go. Got an elimination. But yeah, as you can see, the performance on the game is quite good, especially on this device. And now we can move on to another game now. I'm just going to eat my food, and then we can go back to filming. Okay, so we are on the second out of third game that we're testing in this video. This game is called FR Legends. Now, I'm not going to do too much on this game. I'm literally just going to run a practice run and just see kind of how it performs on this game. Right. Now this, I need to change my controls. I should be good enough. I haven't played this game in about a year. But yeah, you can see the graphics are pretty basic. But I mean, this game is running as expected very well. Now I should, if I go to graphics, put it on the highest with show FPS. You can get some good performance out of it. I don't know actually how to turn on the show FPS, but it says it's on, so hopefully it should be. Oh, it's at the bottom there. Okay, so you see we've got 60 FPS on the higher settings. See, it's good. Now you can run a modded version of this game, and it will achieve about the same, just with a lot of other things going on, with the higher graphics and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to try one more thing before we move on to our next game. I'm going to just go to a different map. It's maybe a bit harder. That'll do. I'm not logged into my account, so I don't really have anything unlocked on here. Yeah, this has a bit more to it, the map. But even then, I don't suspect it will perform badly at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to drive good or anything. But yeah, still staying very consistent at 60 FPS. I'm confident it would be able to achieve higher, although there's not really much point of it achieving higher. I can't remember the refresh rate off the top of my head, but it was probably only about 60 frames. But you should remember, hopefully, from the start of the video. Yeah, now we're just going to move on to the final game. That was only really a little test of this game, but if we move on to Terraria now, and we can see how it performs in the Zudi game. Now, obviously, it should perform very, very well, and then we can move on to the final stage of the video, which is going to be a camera test. But I'm just going to set it all up, and I'll see you guys when we're playing in the game. Okay, so we're now loaded into the Terraria. I'm not sure how to change my graphics settings, to be fair. It might just be a kind of one size sort of graphic setting, But yeah, very good in terms of performance already. To be honest, I haven't played this game in so long, but can't be that difficult. I can't remember if it was pickaxe or axe for the trees, to be honest. Well, hopefully I can get a hang of it pretty quickly, because otherwise I'm just going to sit here and embarrass myself the entire time. Yeah, it must be the axe. There you go. By the way, guys, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve these videos, both with actually filming the devices and also just with things I could add in my videos, please do comment below, because this is very new to me, and I'm putting maximum effort into these videos, but I do understand that they're not to the standard of other YouTubers. So if you guys know of Mr. Who's the Boss and the YouTubers like that, and have any ideas on how I could improve my content and start filming and creating content similar to theirs, please do let me know. Obviously, I'm on an extremely low budget for these videos. I say extremely low budget, but then I'm still spending money per video. Like, this was at least 80 quid to make the video because I had to buy the device. But yeah, the performance in this game is very good. In a minute, we're about to go and test the camera outside, and hopefully that segment will come up quite well. By the way, guys, I know it's a bit late in the video, but if you guys are enjoying and you're still here, please comment something to let me know. Just comment maybe Terraria, just to let me know that you guys are still interested and still watching at this point in the video. It is very helpful and good to know who is still watching later in the video. If you guys are enjoying, please do subscribe, so that we can hit 100 subscribers, because we're not far off now. I'm hoping that this video will be the one that helps us break through to that milestone, and we can progress even further. But yeah, I'm very happy with the gameplay of this game. I would play this game more on mobile, but the UI is it's harder to play than on PC. But I did forget how fun this game is, and might go back to playing on PC for a bit after this video as well. But I'm going to stop yapping now, and we're going to head on to outside in the real world to take some photos and take some videos, and I'll also try to film that for you as well. So I'll see you guys outside. Alright, so one thing that I do in my spare time is I take a lot of car photos and videos. So first thing I'm going to do is just try to take some photos and clips of my own car and see how they come out. And then I might go on a bit of a walk, or just to get some photos of some nature and stuff like that, just to test the camera. Potentially, if this video does well, I might do a part 2 where I go up to a day of car spotting in London and take loads and loads of photos on this thing. If that is something you guys would like to see, please let me know in the comments below. Now I'm going to go outside and take some photos. I'll try my best to film it, but I don't think the results will be very good. And then we will review the camera, the photos and videos that it takes. But I don't think my filming is going to be very good whilst taking the photos, if I'm trying to film it like that. But I'll give it my best shot. Okay, so the camera, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Obviously, that is as to be expected from the price point of the device. For someone who's just an everyday user, this device will be of good enough standard for them with the camera, as regards to the camera. But obviously for someone who, like me, who does photography, that takes photos a lot, I'd want something a lot better. But for the price point of the device, it's really quite surprising quality, and I'm quite happy with the results from this camera test. Hopefully I'll be able to do some more videos with the devices soon. There is a cool feature that I discovered, which is coming up in the next segment, which is in a sec. Okay, so another thing I've noticed about this phone is when I've just gone onto some photos that I've taken, I've noticed this auto feature. So I'm going to just show you on here. It's not going to be the greatest, but I'll click auto. So you might be able to see some little differences. It's really not that, it's very subtle, you can't really tell. But it's not too bad. It just does its own little edits on here. Let's try it on this photo. I don't know if you can see, but the Colours change quite a bit, but it's not too much different. And the camera's not great, don't get me wrong. But it's also not terrible. I mean, for someone who doesn't really care about photography at all, this is really not too bad for them. I will take some nature photos at some point, but I've done a brief test of the camera. I haven't tested the selfie camera because obviously otherwise I just have to take pictures of myself, and don't really want to do that at the moment. But I will do a part 2 to this video at some point, if you guys did enjoy. But for now, that will wrap it up for this video. If there's anything else you guys would like me to test on this phone, please do let me know, as I'd love to make a part 2 of this video if it does any good, considering the amount invested into it. But I mainly just do this for personal satisfaction anyway, but I love making these videos. So if you guys love these tech videos as much as I do, please do subscribe, as it does help me out a lot, just with motivation, as well as potentially monetization at some point, but I'm not too fussed on that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.